Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Distinguished Speaker Series in our Webinar Accelerator. For those of you that are new and joining us for the first time, my name is Asma Wasti, and I'm the founder of Accelerate Global and our flagship program, the Webinar Accelerator and the Visibility Accelerator. We help entrepreneurs start new businesses, solid businesses, the brick and mortar as well as the digital businesses, and find predictability and consistency and cash flow in their income, regardless of the environment, even if you have zero followers. And one of the most favorite things that we do, that I get the privilege to do, is to invite our members to our Distinguished Speaker Series and talk about them and who they are and what makes them who they are today, the entrepreneurs that are today. So it's my privilege and honor to welcome Salima Al-Yalawi. I hope I'm not butchering your name, Salima, to our speaker series all the way from Italy. Welcome, Salima, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. You said it perfectly, Salima Al-Yalawi.
All right. Awesome. From Rebirth Coaching. So I'm so thankful and happy. I know it's different time zones. So I'm glad that we always connect and we can for today. Let's talk about, so we provide this platform to our members for speaker series to find out more about them, find inspiration from them, who they are, and if they can do it, so can we, right? So tell us about who you are and what is it that you do?
Hello, everybody. I am Salima, certified self-love and confidence coach and motivational speaker. I am the founder of Rebirth Coaching. And at Rebirth Coaching, we help our clients from all over the world release their fears, past traumas, and mental blockages, and replace them with the belief system that they need in order to have the most successful career and beautiful life they can have. And to do that, we use and master the best coaching techniques in the world. And if you want to learn more, just visit our website, rebirthcoaching.it, or contact us at hello@rebirthcoaching.it, and we'll be super happy to help you.
So, that is so interesting. So you're really a confidence coach and somebody who's, if they're looking to speak up or become a better speaker and find confidence within themselves and find the purpose that they're looking for. So certainly. And thank you so much for those of you who are joining us live. Please say #live there. It's hard for us to see your name unless you accept. StreamYard is a little bit challenging in that way. So put your name there so we can see who you are. Just put a like there so we can say hi. And those who are joining us in the replay, say #replay. So Rebirth Coaching is a very interesting name and it's a very interesting nature of work that you do. How did you come about creating this organization and why call it Rebirth Coaching?
Oh, this is a long story. The name comes from the fact that I feel like I have had different lives to this point, and each one was like a rebirth for me. So starting from right the beginning, I had a very difficult childhood, both mentally and physically abusive one. So I grew up in the north of France, and I had a very strict and Catholic mother who knew how she wanted things to be. And so I wasn't allowed to do most things that people tend to do. For example, even swimming in the swimming pool. So to this day, I don't know how to swim.
Oh.
Yeah. And the only reason for me not knowing how to swim now is just that I don't have the time with my business. If not, I'm not afraid of it
Not
anymore.
that you're not willing. Yeah. Now that you have your control over
good,
yourself. Yes.
The good thing being a coach myself is that I can practice my awesome technique on myself first. So I have released, for example, the fear of swimming from myself. So when I grew up, I wasn't allowed to do much. I used to stay a lot in our home. As I said, I had very challenging moments. For instance, I still can remember one traumatic time where I didn't do what my mother wanted me to do, and so she locked me outside of the house. Mind you, in winter in the north of France, it's snowing like crazy. Yeah. And so I was basically barefoot and in pajamas, and I had to run around the house to warm myself up. And so
Wow.
there were lots of others traumatic experiences like this, but I don't want to put anybody down.
No,
So
it's important that you share that, Salima. It's so important because we connect with those, a number of us. We may or may not have gone through the exact same traumas, but
sure.
we've all gone through challenges in our lives. And it's so important to know and understand because those challenges define us, right?
One of the impacts for sure of these challenges is that it massively impacted my confidence. I grew up as a very shy person. I was always thinking of what other people might think of me, always convinced that people had their eyes on me at all times and judging me. Also, I grew up, of course, with a terrible relationship example with my mother being very rude to my father and not recognizing all the things that he sacrificed for our family, included the fact that he came from another country, left all of his family behind to build a new life for us in France and give us all the possibilities for us to really study in the best universities, etc. So as you can probably guess, I really grew up as a very insecure person, and I used to be also shying away from people. So I would walk on the streets and just watch my shoes, basically, up until I would bump into someone. Like literally, I was really incapable of watching someone in the eyes. Of course, even going on an interview for me was really challenging.
Wow.
Selling myself, etc. And when I think about it now, it truly, really feels like another person.
It's remarkable. Look at you and I are talking here today internationally, globally, and the world is watching. And here we are coming from where I mean, you're telling me. It's amazing. I got to ask you a question. Given that the expert you are on confidence and rebirth that way, I could relate to what you're telling me. I was that way too. But what I did in return was I overcompensated it by being overconfident and showing people that I know something even when I don't know, right? And just so do you think that happens? And is that something that we sometimes do, we don't recognize it?
So yeah, we can tend to try to compensate that by over showing to other people our skills or our qualities. The fact is that deep down, we are not changing our true identity and nature. And it is so important to change that, because then being confident, it's truly who you are. You don't have to fake it. It's just your second nature. And just when I think about it now, for example, I am a speaker's coach for TEDx. I am also in Toastmasters at a very important role, which is the #1 organization in the world for public speaking. I am, of course, a confidence coach myself. I run my company with my awesome team. I am a motivational speaker where I share my struggles with full vulnerability, which I wasn't able at all in the past. So it's pretty awesome when you think about it, how a person can truly change like this.
Yes.
When you truly find a coach that knows their stuff and you truly connect to them and they practice their techniques with you, in a matter of 1 or 2 sessions, they can really, if you think of a computer, they can completely change the programming that you have there.
Yes.
And clean it all up and put instead the perfect program for you to show up in your life and your business.
That's so amazing. That's wonderful. Now tell me about, why is it so important? Because you talked about vulnerability. Why is it important to talk about and come through with the truth of who you are and being vulnerable?
Yeah, this is so important because 93% of what people perceive of us is not the words that we use, is actually our energy.
Yes.
What they can feel from like the vibration that we can emit. So this you can't fake. This you have to be deep down. And it comes all down to the subconscious level of the mind, which is the most profound level. And a regular person cannot access to that and just do their stuff, and clean it up. You have to go to a professional of the mind to
Mm-hmm.
help you tidy up everything and reprogram with the uplifting and empowering belief system that you need.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Bara Nicola says Salima is the best ever. Thank you, Bara. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I appreciate. So it's so interesting you said that, because it comes across for any coach, like specifically for you in terms of the mindset training or the speakers, the confidence. For us, it's our business structure, but we all have tried it to do it and go on our own, right? Our trial and error method. Haven't
Absolutely.
you? Right? You
Yeah.
talked about it too. Would you like to?
I did too, for sure. And I did for quite a long time. I would say 4 or 5 years, because I finally admitted defeat. I tried to walk my way to confidence through YouTube tutorials and motivational speeches and self-development books. But the thing is, it only brings you confidence in the moment. It brings you really motivation.
Mhm.
And the thing with motivation is, once you've just consumed that content, you feel motivated, yes. But at the next distraction, at the next call with your clients, at the next
Takes you down.
kid asking for you, it completely vanishes. And
Mhm.
so what you truly need is go to the root cause of your problems and work that out.
Mhm.
And so this is why coaching is so powerful. It's not just instant and short-term motivation, but it's
Mhm.
really to the root and long-term transformation.
Mhm. That's so amazing. And you did your certification from Toronto. That's where
Yes,
I am.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I did my certification in Toronto, and I certified in the best really coaching techniques out there. To
mhm.
give you a little hint to them, I am certified in hypnosis, in
Mhm.
emotional freedom technique, in neuroscience, in neurolinguistic programming and time technique, which is super powerful to go back to
Mhm.
past traumas and
Mhm.
completely erase them as if they never were there.
So tell me about that for yourself. So it's interesting you said that, So how did you do it for yourself? Because you talked about your own trauma, how it was challenging for you with your relationship
Sure.
with your mother, with your childhood, your upbringing, and your environment. What did you do for yourself? Like, I'm amazed to see
So
you. I'm so happy that you're here and talking about it. So
so
how
once
did you?
I once I figured out that all the quick fixes were just not working, I finally decided to invest in a coach. And trust me, the first time I invested in my first coach, it was super scary. I literally had my hand like this, on the mouse. Should I buy? Should I not? And I thought, okay, if I don't, the results that I will have in 5, 10 years from now won't be very different from what I have achieved to this
Yeah.
point. So that's when I decided to make the decision to take a leap of faith and invest in a coach, meaning really invest in myself and
Mhm.
work through the traumas and the limiting beliefs that I had inherited from my parents. And so I invested in a coach and then in another one, because every coach needs a coach. It's like a dentist. It also
Yeah.
needs a dentist.
So do I. Yes.
And
True.
I then understood how fundamental it is. Because, when you have a very serious heart disease or problem, you go to the best heart surgeon in town or in the
Mhm.
country, even.
Mhm.
Well, for the mind, it's also a very serious thing. You don't hope that a self development book will fix you. You have to go to a professional of the mind, which is, of course, a therapist or a certified coach. And
Mhm.
so, this is exactly what I did. I invested in coaches, and then I got so passionate about it and said, okay, no way. I had to struggle this much. And it was all just for this.
Mhm.
I am sure this whole serves a purpose. And the purpose for me is to make my struggles count. My
Mhm.
struggles serve other people and show them that if I've been through it all and out of it with such success, so can they. And that's
Yes.
when I decided to invest again, but this time in a certification program to become a certified coach myself and help people myself too.
That's wonderful, as you said that, because as I say to my clientele and our members is, yes, we made a million mistakes coming to where we are today. Right now, we're a huge organization in at least 15, 20 different countries right now. We have got clients coming from all over the place, but we weren't always like that. And when we started, Accelerate Global started, and we started our webinar accelerator, we made a million mistakes, but I want you to keep that to be my million mistakes and not make them yours. And for that reason, the coaching piece is so, so important. And I love that what you said.
Yeah. I
Because
think there's a fundamental difference between having the knowledge, and this works for me, but also for you, having the knowledge and having someone that can literally walk you through all the steps that you need to take to get to the result that you want.
yes.
And so that's why it's so important to invest in a professional that have been through that beforehand and also has the knowledge and the expertise to help you do that.
You got that. And now, were you always an entrepreneur? So you always wanted to have a business and coach people on confidence and speak? Tell us about
Of
that.
course not. So after this very traumatic childhood, at 17 years old, I basically moved out of my parents' house. And I went to another region in France to graduate from university. I had a double master in international business as well as in European law.
Mhm.
And then I started my career. So I've worked for 8 years in international sales. I was an international sales representative. And so I was working with all the developing countries, and it was really challenging at the beginning, but still, I felt this was a pivoting point for me because it pushed me literally on the scene. I had to become very good at communicating, at creating rapport with other people, at adapting to other cultures. And along the way, I had learned 5 languages that I speak fluently. So it definitely
Tell
helped.
us which ones. Yes, we need to
Yeah, so
know.
I speak, of course, English, French, Italian, Arabic, and Spanish.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So,
Yeah.
and also it's a huge bonus because now we are able also to coach people throughout the world thanks to this skill. So this is another point that I want to leave everybody with is any skill or hurdle that you had along the way serves a purpose. And you
Yes.
just have to figure out how you can take it to your advantage and make it count. Not just be a very traumatic or hurtful experience, but see how it can serve other people, how you can make business out of it, how you
Out
can
of it.
feel
Yes.
how you can feel really a meaning in life thanks to it.
Yeah. And I say this too. It's so good that you touched on that point. An experience is an experience. A positive or a negative is what our emotions make of it, really. Right? From a third party's perspective, it's an experience that's happening to you. And so wonderful that you took it and you ran with it. And the fact you came from a sales background and you had to push yourself. There's no other way but to jump on the deep end of the pool. Can you talk about that a little bit and how that shaped you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you can guess, growing up very shy and unable to watch other people in the eyes, you can think, oh, how did she become like a sales expert on the international scene? Well, the thing is, what pushed me first is my really urge to connect to other people because growing up, I was all by myself, literally all the time. My only activity was going to school. So then I had really this urge to connect to other people, this thirst for other countries. And that was more important to me than what other people might think. And that's why in sales, I was so good because I was truly interested in the other person. And it was literally.
Say that again. Preach that again, please, Salima. I would love you to preach, because this is something I find a little bit that can be worked on by a number of entrepreneurs, where we need to find the true connection with our people, with clientele, irrespective. The dollars that come through the door or the sales that come through the door are a byproduct of that interaction.
Yeah, it will just flow your way. You just have to figure out, like, what is your vision, what are your values in life, and go through it. You just don't have to fake who you are. You don't have to try to please other people or appear a certain way. The more authentic you are, the more people will connect to you and understand that you are coming from a place, yes, to sell to them, but not just about anything. The exact thing that they need or the exact thing that they want. And this is so crucial. That's why, for instance, I had the opportunity to really manage $1 million markets, because I was really focused on not just selling anything on our product range, but really what the other person could then distribute in their country and make a huge network of sales out of it. So it's really that you can have a short-term vision and try to sell right now and lose
immediate. Yes, instead of immediate gratification, you're looking for long-term, consistent gratification and repeat purchase. That's important. Repeat purchase and those referrals and trust. Yes,
trust is so important, and once you break it, it's super difficult, if not impossible, to rebuild it. So being authentic, being trustful, and being confident in yourself is so crucial for business.
Yes. And you're doing such great work in that capacity. I truly am happy that I'm speaking with you today in that regard. Now, so tell me a little bit about what makes a person find confidence in themselves. So when you're working with them, right? Obviously you have tools, you have, other resources that you give them, and you go through the process in the program and the coaching program with them. But what is that transformation like when they actually truly find their voice and find that confidence? I'm sure it's so fulfilling for you.
So let me ask you a question first.
Yes.
Do you know what is the number one regret of the dying?
What is the number one regret of?
The dying, the people that are about to die on their deathbed.
Yes, it's not that they didn't show up for work. They probably say they didn't speak up, or they didn't say, or they didn't take action when they wanted to, I'm thinking.
Yeah, along those lines, yeah. It's that they didn't achieve what they really truly wanted to do because they gave too much importance to what other people might think of them.
Yes.
And an important thing to know is that anyone on this planet, women, men, of all cultures, all ages, have confidence issues at one point in their lives, whether that be in the past, in the future, or right now. So anyone can use a confidence coach. And the important thing is that depending on our own stories, the little things you need the person for is different. And this is exactly what I work with my clients. Usually they come to me because they feel inspired, of course, by my journey and my personal story, but a connection, and they can feel truly my authenticity. And they come with something that they think is their problem. And the interesting thing here is usually their problem is not the problem.
Not what they're. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Yes.
There's always an underlying problem that they're not fully consciously aware of. And so we have to do some digging with the coaching questioning to get to there. And then I will perform on them the coaching techniques. And then they can run with it and go on with their lives.
Yes, and what a transformational change but I'm sure it does to people in their lives, and how they see and view the world and transact with the world at that given point in time. If I can see, given what your story is, that where you came from and how you did, right? you're literally bumping into people because you're looking down to your shoes versus where you are today. I mean, that's really, really remarkable. And now you do it all around. You have individuals. You want to talk a little bit about your program because we're almost to the end of our session today. So,
Okay.
and also, yeah.
So what I do is both one-on-one coaching. So I take clients one-on-one, and we work through their problems online. So typical session is 1 hour, usually depending on the, let's say, gravity of their problem. It can take 1 to 2 sessions or a bit more if it's really traumatic experiences from the past. We do also group coaching. So for that, we are working with a group of 5 people maximum on issues that they have in common. And we do that for 3 months. So this is a second way to work with us. And we also have a digital training, which is the Confidence Booster Bundle that you can find online. I will put also the link in the comment section. So really lots of ways to work with us. Of course, I am not the only one coach in the company, but I can work with clients, as I said, in the 5 languages that I said. And then we are always expanding the team. So amazing.
That is amazing. And thank you. So Nicole, there are more people joining us right now. Hi, Nicole. Thank you so much for joining us. All of us that are here, please put your comments down below. Would love that. And we would love to have you connected with, if you find...
I would be super curious to know, I touched upon the number one regret of the dying. People that are watching this live or replay, can you put in the comment section the thing that you feel that you really want to do, but you are giving too much importance to what people may think and you feel unsure about it? Okay, so think if you were on your deathbed like 50, 40 years from now, what is the
100 years from now? Yes.
Or 80. What is the thing that you might regret not doing, so that I can give you then personal tips on how to go about it?
I would love that. Yes, let us know, Nicole, Bara, Nicola. I know there's a number of others who would like to. Please put that down and see. I would love to watch and see what people's aspirations are, or what they think that they might have done. I know I wish I had done what I'm doing today a decade ago. That I can tell you.
Yeah, we can't change the past, but the good thing is...
but we can definitely do it for the future. And that's the difference that we've made, right? And I think that I'm glad what I did, and I think you say the same thing. Whatever your experiences have been in your life have made you who you are today. And that's bring your expertise to the table the way you do because of all the experiences that you have got.
Yeah. I really wanted to wrap up with this thought, really, that you just highlighted, is the fact that when you think about my own experience, and I'm not the only one, like huge people like Barack Obama or Oprah used to be like normal people from a very normal background, if not like below the average. So what I want you to think about is really people that you may see on the street, and yourself. When you look at you in the mirror, you have this hidden potential in you. And the only thing preventing you from unleashing it is yourself. It's so important that you really go and seek a coach that you really relate to, so that they can help you unleash that. What I was saying about my 3 main struggles, I want to tell you now how I am at this point of my life. So how, as I said at the beginning, I was really struggling connecting with people and just being around people. And now I am doing TEDx, Toastmasters, coaching, etc. So you can definitely tell that going through coaching techniques truly helped. Another thing that I used to struggle a lot, of course, because having a very terrible example at home with my parents, relationship-wise, I have now manifested into my life a really loving and conscious relationship, and we're getting married at the end of this month. So this is another area of life that really shows that doing the confidence work really mattered. Another
Yes.
thing that, of
Well,
course,
congratulations for your wedding coming up, upcoming wedding. Just from
thank you.
everyone, all of us, and myself. And I want to second that what you just said, to consciously cultivate those relationships around you. And this is what I say, even within our our members within our webinar accelerator and otherwise, we consciously invite people that are like-minded or have the quality of people that we want to surround ourselves with, because you don't want to spend and expend your energy into something that is non-productive for you, or is it's kind of actually the other way around, and it's not helping you. So absolutely, I agree. And it takes a conscious effort to do that, whether it's your personal relationships, whether it's your work relationships, whether, and in either.
Also relationships in general. If you're looking around you and you're not seeing the kind of friends or colleagues or even employees that you want to see, remember that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so if you attract that kind of people, most likely than not, there is something inside of you in your conditioning that was put into you before you were even conscious of it, before you had critical thinking, that you have to change in order to attract that life and that career that you want.
Yes, and make that leap of faith. So, I mean, Salima is going to be, giving us. Thank you so much for this again. Also, that you have put a little bit in our freebie pot, right? You're giving us a tool for our members to use.
I am giving away for free our self-love quiz. So it's a confidence quiz where it helps you figure out where you are currently on the confidence spectrum. And by the end of it, you will have 3 personalized tips to really start working on your confidence.
Thank you so much. And that is, I believe, worth close to about 100 euros. So thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate it. Our members will be thankful for that as well. 30 minutes go by so fast. We were having so much fun talking with each other. Truly appreciate that you are here today and you joined us and on this platform and shared your valuable, tips and your offer and your story and your journey with all of us. I'm sure people find it inspirational and find value in it and be able to connect with you. Hopefully we'll get you again on something similar in another platform, really.
I'd love to.
Thank you so much, Salima, for joining us. And I'll see you guys again with another distinguished speaker come next week live. So come and join us there on every single platform. We're there on Facebook. We're there on YouTube. We're there on LinkedIn. Join us live and being streamed in all the platforms all over. Thank you so much, guys. See you again. Bye for now.
Bye.